That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back to Camp Strangest Strangers. I am Alex Tobin, your camp counselor.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're here to bring the strange, spooky, and creepy back into your lives every week.
Getting you that fix.
We're getting you that fix. And, like we always say, let's just get into it because we don't have time to mess around.
No piddle paddle.
There's a lot of weird out there, and we got a lot of things to tell you about. And the first story I found was... This goes back to kind of what we mentioned a little bit earlier on in the podcast with how sometimes names are completely ruined forever.
Oh, Adolf.
That is exactly the name that I was thinking of.
Okay.
And the title of this weird news article is Police Dog with Same Name as Nazi General Gets a Name Change.
Oh, good for him.
So this bloodhound, it's a bloodhound puppy, super cute bloodhound puppy.
Big old ears.
Yeah, it says Lake County Sheriff. I don't know where Lake County is.
It sounds like it's. I feel like there's a Lake County really close here, isn't there?
Oh fuck!
Is that where you're from?
No, guess where it is. Why?
There's probably a Lake County everywhere,
no,
but yeah.
It's weird news. Where is it from?
Fucking Florida.
It's from Florida. Okay, so the Florida Police Department, or Lake County, they got a little canine puppy bloodhound, and they named him, they tweeted that he's a 10-week-old liver-colored bloodhound now assigned to Master Deputy Menschnichel, which is another hard name to pronounce, but the puppy's name is Rommel.
Rommel?
Rommel, R-O-M-M-E-L.
Okay.
And it says he will soon begin his rigorous training to support the community by locating missing persons, fugitives, and evidence. Welcome aboard, Rommel. And then everybody just started tweeting at him. And this gets me a little angry because it says some guy tweeted, "This is what happens when folks aren't well versed in history. Naming police dogs after World War II German Wehrmacht generals is probably not the best." And I'm like, okay. You can't know every single Nazi general. There's probably a lot of them. And I never even heard of Rommel. What's his actual name?
I have no idea.
Erwin Rommel. That was the name of one of the
No idea.
Erwin. I mean, no one's naming him anybody Erwin. But so that name is completely ruined, Rommel. And a lot of people were tweeting at him. And that's the thing. I didn't even know Rommel was a Nazi general. So,
yeah, I didn't know that one. By the way, there are multiple Lake Counties.
Oh,
I googled it.
Well, this one's in Florida.
Okay.
And so apparently they had to go and change the dog's name because there was a public outcry about how they were naming this dog after a Nazi general.
Because all police are Nazis.
But they
that was a joke. If that wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah, we respect the police. Don't shoot us. Don't shoot me. Yeah, they had to change his name to. What do you think they changed it?
Ronald?
No, they didn't. The McDonald's is going to go after him, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
They changed his name to Scout.
Scout. That's a go-to.
It's a good.
It's a cop-out.
Fuck
that.
It is. It's a cop-out?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a cop-out.
But
yeah.
It's like naming your dog Buddy. Get original.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, obviously they floundered. They're like, fuck, we named him after a Nazi. We have to pick something so generic that nobody can get mad. Yeah, exactly.
Abe.
Exactly, Lincoln. This is our new dog, Lincoln. But
he's a real luxury dog.
So Matthew McConaughey rides him.
Yep.
But so basically they had to change his name, but it just kind of made me a little bit mad because I'm like, Rommel's kind of like one of those weird names, and apparently, the officer who had the dog, his childhood dog was named Rommel.
Uh-oh.
So I
look into that guy, I guess. Fuck.
I was like, his parents had a little. You have some explaining to do.
Yeah. Holy shit.
But I highly doubt. That's kind of like
I mean,
maybe
that's why we don't know that name is because of that, but he's just not big enough that he's not widely known like Adolf.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of Nazis ruined a lot of names. It's kind of like that kid in high school where you ever have a name where you go, "What? I wonder what I would name my kid in the future," and you go like Brent. I mean, not that I'm naming my kid Brent, but like you go Brent, and then you go, oh, I knew like a weird kid in high school named Brent
Harris.
and every single Harris, where you go every single time I'm gonna talk to my kid, I'm gonna think of that kid like in the back of my mind. So like you can't name the kid that. So it has to be like a name that you don't have any association to in a weird way, unless it's like good association, like your grandma's name, you know?
Yeah, naming someone, man, that's something I'm not looking forward to. It's a lot of pressure. That shit sticks around for a while.
It does.
And you know, a dog is one thing, but a living person,
honestly, it's a lot of pressure. I think about that. You get to decide your kid's name.
And yeah.
My name, I don't. People
and
always
they gotta wait till they're 18 to change it.
Do you know numerous people who have never met each other and have never met me or any like of my friends? Like at work, they go, "Hey, Kyle," and I go, "Oh, my name's Alex," and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
That's your middle name.
Kyle's not my middle name. My middle name's Joseph. But numerous people, I go, I guess I look like a Kyle. I don't know. I mean, that's just a generic white guy name, though. So.
I thought your middle name was Kyle.
No.
Because I thought Kyle's middle name was Alex and your middle name was Kyle, and I thought there's a weird twist off from that.
No, Kyle's middle name is Tobin.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because his mom's maiden name is Tobin, and we look like... Let's not get into this.
Yeah.
Okay, but you bring up another weird story.
Yeah, so, we got this story that's kind of breaking the internet today. That's about a millionaire who kind of secretly was trying to plan a battle royale tournament on his private island. And for people that are unfamiliar with the term battle royale, I believe this is without any research, I believe it originates from a Japanese movie with a bunch of school kids, right?
Yeah, I think they're school. I've seen clips from the movie, but I haven't seen the movie exactly.
It was on my watch list on Netflix for like 8 years, and I feel like they took it off because I haven't seen it for a while, and I never got around to watching it.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it's a certain amount of number of people fighting to the death until there's one left, kind of like Hunger Games.
Or The Condemned, which was a movie made by WWE Studios, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Fuck yeah. I mean, hell yeah.
Hell
yeah? What was his saying?
Give me a beer.
Give me a beer. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But so the term Battle Royale now has its fame through video games such as PUBG, Fortnite, Apex Legends. Like the list just fucking keeps going. And the idea is that in the games, you know, it's 100 people in one game, and it goes until everybody is eliminated except for one person.
Except for this is not a game, and this is real life.
Yeah, and so immediately I was like, so they are going to find 100 people who are going to be like, yeah, I want to die or win this money.
Well, I mean, it goes beyond like people volunteering for something. It's just law at this point.
Yeah,
but
so
wait, before
the winner,
you go in,
the winner would win $130,000.
That is so not worth it. No. It's crazy.
But this makes a lot more sense now that I'm actually reading an article about it, because the term LARP is in there, so it would not be life or death.
Oh, okay. Well, now, that's the problem with LARP. LARPing is live action role playing, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, and that is like people who, they have like foam swords and fake arrows.
Usually capes.
Yeah, and you go into
public parks.
Have you ever seen the movie Role Models with
great
Paul
movie.
Rudd? Yeah,
such a good movie.
But they go and they fight with knights with swords, and you get hit and you're like out. It's kind of like paintball, except there's no paint involved. So
you get hit in the arm, you have to like put that arm behind your back.
Exactly. So it's. But when there's $130,000 involved, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people lying on an island, because there's going to be two guys going like at it, and then he's going to get hit in the head with the sword, and he's like, fuck it, I'm not saying I got hit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep this money.
Well, so the funny thing about this, the way the story broke was apparently there is an online service called Hush Hush, which is an online marketplace for the rich, and some guy was requesting someone who could help design an arena for a 100-person event, and it was going to be, they were going to make $59,000 for a 6 week period setting this thing up.
Oh, okay.
But I thought that was just funny that he's willing to pay someone almost $60,000, and then the winner of the contest makes, $130,000.
Okay, let me ask you this though. Yeah, that's it's half the entry fee.
It's
half the winnings.
It's almost half.
Let me ask you this: is he competing? And he hasn't given his name.
I don't believe the millionaire has been named because I feel like that would not be a good thing to have under your name.
I guess.
Especially because there are people out there like me who, before reading the article, assumed that they were just like, yeah, I want a bunch of people just trying to kill each other.
That's what I thought it was too. I was like, okay, you better have like $1 billion up for grabs, and you're only a millionaire, so
and
there's
now
gonna be 99 murders on your hands.
Well, now it actually sounds fun. Because
that sounds cool.
It is players will be armed with airsoft guns, ammo, and touch-sensitive body armor.
It's hard to enforce that, especially when there's $130,000.
Touch sensitivity armor. So
okay, if you get shot in the head,
you probably have helmets or some shit.
Oh, maybe.
You walk up with a big ass welt on your forehead, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you get stung by a bee?"
Wow, you actually just transitioned perfectly into my next story, but
oh Lord.
But let's wrap this up by saying that I'm very interested in finding out if this actually takes place, because I would love for them to have some kind of live stream for this. I would pay pay-per-view money for that.
Yeah, airsoft, the real deal though.
Well, oh yeah, I guess airsoft. I guess airsoft. I was picturing still LARPing with swords.
I would probably be more interested in paintball, so you'd see like the paint splatter. Yeah, airsoft seems a little anticlimactic.
No, I want to see LARPing. I want to see lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Exactly.
That's what I want to see.
But I mean, everybody's gonna have a knife.
Exactly.
You'd hope.
So they have paint knives for paintball. Do you know that?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the airsoft grenades?
No.
Those things are fucking wild. It's like it looks like a grenade, but you load it with airsoft things, and it's spring loaded. So when you throw it, it just like shoots like 1,000 airsoft BBs in every direction.
That's bullshit, because you get hit with shrapnel and not die. Anyway, let's move on.
Big shrapnel guy over here.
I'm a big shrapnel guy. We've talked about grenades on this podcast before, and we will again.
Yeah.
So, like I said, bees. You said bees, right? So
beads.
Bumblebees.
Beads.
Yes.
Bees.
Anyway.
Arrested Development.
Anyway.
Beads?
So this article says, doctor discovers 4 bees in woman's left eye living off of her tears. Jeez.
I'm trying to think of what to say about that. So bees can live off of tears now, huh?
In Taiwan, this 29-year-old lady...
Life finds a way.
It really does. This is like, if you didn't have anything to be terrified about, now I'm giving you something. So, this patient, she was plucking weeds around a gravestone, which is really sad in the first place. No wonder,
but needs to be done.
No wonder the bees can have so many tears to eat off of.
Yeah.
Her eyes started hurting, and she started like rinsing it out, but it wasn't helping. She had a contact lens in, and she didn't want to like crack her contact lens or like break it, I guess.
I don't think those crack, my dude. Those are like jelly.
No, I know they're jelly, but like you could still like tear them. I guess crack is the wrong word. Tear them.
Okay.
She didn't want to tear them by like rubbing her eye. I guess if you rub your eyes a lot, you can like break them or tear them or something like that.
I'd be bad with those.
I mean, honestly, we get into a story about a lady who I saw the other day. I didn't see her the other day. It was a news article, but she had 27 contact lenses in her eye.
Oh, I've heard about that happening.
It's fucking gross.
You don't realize. They think they dissolve or some shit, and they just keep putting them in.
Yeah, so she said she was wearing contact lenses, so she didn't dare to rub her eyes in case she broke the lens. If she did, she could have induced the bees to produce venom, and she could have gone blind.
Did we talk about what type of bees these are?
So they were, I just had them right here.
So, I mean, there's bees, and then there's, like, hornets.
No, oh my god, I just had them.
Wasps and shit, those assholes.
It says, I don't know, they were, like, very, very tiny bees.
Oh,
apparently.
tiny bees.
Oh, it says
the South African tiny bee?
Lowercase b, actually. That's the proper term. It says doctors discovered the tiny bees, so I guess they said in the article, feeding off the moisture in her tear ducts. That doesn't help me. Under the microscope, I slowly pulled them out, one after another, and I don't know what type of bees these were, actually, but they're obviously bees that climb into your eyes and eat tears.
Sounds worse than bot flies.
They said they feed off sweat and tears from humans and animals. However, they rarely sting unless you rub them in your eyes.
How are we just finding out about these, huh?
They might only be in Taiwan.
Where the fuck have these things been?
I don't know. But if you rub your eyes and you piss them off, they can produce venom, and then you could go blind. But luckily, she didn't rub her eye because she was so afraid of her contact lens breaking. So she actually, saved her eye and her eyesight from not rubbing these. But they plucked the bees from her eye, and they were still living. And, yeah, I guess...
Did she crawl into their eyes?
She's not tiny enough.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
No.
Then the tiny bee.
Little baby going to bite the bee eye.
But, yeah, these bees are pretty tiny. I just don't get how you get 4 bees in your eyes and be like, God, dust.
Maybe if you're riding a bike, I always get bugs in my eyes when I'm riding a bike.
I got a metal shard in my eye one time.
Yeah?
It was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, I got a mosquito in my eye. My mom had to dig it out with her car keys.
Are you okay. Yeah, I'm done with you. Let's get into these weird stories, because we got weird stories to tell you.
It happened.
It didn't happen.
It happened.
Okay, let's get into these stories. So today's story, we will be talking about skinwalkers of the Native American lore.
Okay.
Do you know anything about skinwalkers?
Isn't it pretty similar to zombies?
No, not at all, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Shapeshifters?
Yes.
Okay,
so I thought when I originally saw it, I thought the same thing, skinwalkers, because it sounds more zombie-esque than anything, which is actually very appropriate, because what are we drinking, David?
We are drinking a 2016 The Walking Dead cab.
Which I received for my birthday, along with a Game of Thrones cab from my lovely girlfriend, Katie.
We're big cab guys.
We're great cab guys. And so, although this is not a zombie episode, these are skinwalkers that we're drinking, and we will be talking about them on this
It's a damn
podcast.
good wine. I'm sorry, Bogle, but this is good.
Walking Dead sponsor us. Anyway, so I've read all the comics. Now, skinwalkers are defined as a person with the ability to transform into any different type of animal at will, most frequently seen as coyotes, wolves, foxes, eagles, owls, or crows.
Yep. Okay.
But as the Navajo Native American tribe know, there is much more to the creature that lies beneath the surface of the animal skin. Much more darkness and magic.
Real quick, did you watch more of Love, Death, and Robots?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, shit. There's a really good episode that's like werewolves.
So there is a Netflix series called Love, Death, and Robots, which is David showed me a first episode. It was really, really good.
It's an awesome series. It's almost like it's like an animated Black Mirror in a way. Like each episode's different. They're kind of similar. Like there's slight connections to them, but each one is done by a different artist, so they're very unique in their own way. And I think like the longest one is probably 20 minutes, and the shortest one's like 6.
And they connect to skinwalkers. How?
No, I was just talking about. There's a werewolf one that's super badass.
Oh fuck! Okay, I'm already signed up.
They're Marines that are werewolves.
Okay, you sold me. You sold me already. I'm done.
But if you haven't checked it out,
there.
that's a really fucking awesome show. Except for whatever reason they felt it was necessary to have nudity in like every episode.
Wait, what? I don't know why you're saying this is like a bad thing.
It's just
you're like I don't get why they have to. I'm like I get it.
It just felt a bit forced.
Hey, animation. It's not real nudity. It's
exactly.
Fake. It's fake.
That's what made it weirder.
Fake boobs and penises. You know.
Yeah, a lot of dong.
So, in the Navajo culture, a skinwalker is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. The witch is called, I am very sorry for any of our Native American listeners, but the witch is called Yinaldulushi. Yinadalushi.
Okay.
And I do not think I did the right dialect or pronunciation, but by the Navajo, which translates to, with it, he goes on all fours.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it is just one of the several types of Navajo witches and is considered the most volatile and dangerous. So these shapeshifters, these skinwalkers are the most dangerous of the Navajo witches. And it did originate with, I mean, I'm going to get into it right now, but it did originate with the Navajo first. But I'll get into it right now.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
In the Navajo beliefs, are witches female?
Witches can be either... Actually, they are more male than female,
Okay.
if I have to say so.
Am I wrong with like thinking when I hear the word witch, I think of a female?
No,
Yeah.
no, they can be either in the Native American culture.
Okay.
In necessarily skinwalkers, they're more identified as male because they're like malevolent and creepy and stuff like that. And I feel like that's more of like a male trait. Actually, no, they're females too, I guess, that are creepy witches. But I don't know. In American culture, I feel like the females are the creepy witches, and in the Navajo culture, it seems like the old men seem like the more creepy witches.
Okay.
But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So now in Navajo culture, the many other Native American, now in Navajo culture and many other Native American cultures like Apache, Hopi, and Ute, they recognize witches in both the white and black magic realm. So like I said, there are Apache, Hopi, and Ute that also believe in skinwalkers, but kind of in like, they have like slight deviations on like the lore and stuff like that, but they were the Navajo were the first to take it on.
Okay, cool.
So they recognize witches in both white and black magic realms. A white magic witch may come in the form of a healer or a spiritual guide, but the black magic aspects are when skinwalkers come into the picture. In order to become a skinwalker, he or she must be initiated by a secret society which requires the most evil of deeds, which includes the killing of a close family member, most often a sibling. So, I mean, that's kind of like if I had to, kind of pinpoint that in our culture, it'd be like, if you want to join this gang, you gotta you ever heard of that like legend where you gotta kill somebody to join a gang? Which is not even a legend, but like sometimes a real thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's very similar in that. We're like,
Are you talking about that Immortal Technique song?
Oh my god,
Dance with the Devil?
Dude, how do you know I thought of that?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't want to even tell people to listen to that, but yeah, Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique.
Some great storytelling in that song, but horrible message.
That's nothing to bump in your car.
No.
Actually, it's a great message to be like, don't do any of that shit.
Yeah, true.
So I mean,
it's a great song, but boy, that one will really rattle you.
Play that with the windows rolled up.
Yeah, but
I'm
headphones
going to tell you
on
right now. So
headphones for that one.
But after you kill your sibling, apparently, after this task has been completed, the individual then acquires supernatural powers, which gives them the ability to shapeshift into animals. Actually, it's kind of like a Thanos thing too. Oh, spoilers! But like when
Thanos.
When you drop Thanos, yeah, when Thanos drops
Ant-Man and Thanos,
Gamera off the cliff, But so after you kill your sibling, then you get the shape-shifting powers. Most often, they are seen in the form of coyotes, wolves, foxes, cougars, dogs, and bears. And I mentioned some other ones before that, but can take the shape of any animal. So it's really any animal, but these are very common ones, I guess, in Native American lore.
Yeah.
That are.
I think they all have meaning to them, right?
I also think that they're they are North American / like Mexico, maybe top of South America animals.
Okay.
So it's kind of like what you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
That they would take the shapeshift of.
Yeah.
And and they might also represent stuff. I mean, I know in like regular Native American culture they do, but I don't know about like black magic culture, So They then wear the skins of the animals they transform into, hence the name skinwalker. Sometimes they also wore animal skulls or antlers atop their heads, which brought them more power. They chose what animal they wanted to turn into depending on the abilities needed for a particular task, such as speed, strength, endurance, stealth, claws, and teeth, which are not necessarily abilities, claws or teeth. They're just kind of like
There.
advantages,
Yeah.
you know? But
Part of the arsenal.
But yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of like Beast Boy. If I,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know, if you need claws and teeth, you turn into a saber tooth. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you do. So because of this, the Navajo consider it taboo for its members to wear the pelt of any predatory animal. However, sheepskin, leather, and buckskin are acceptable, which is really interesting. I did not know that. That might be strictly toward the Navajo more than any other Native American tribe.
Okay.
But they don't wear wolf skin. They don't wear.
I think that's a thing of like honor, like they respect the animals, like they don't want to like disrespect them by. But I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I
so.
disagree because I learned that as a respect to the animal, once they
Use the whole body. Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, it would be really disrespectful to not use the skin as a blanket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep warm. The Native American used every single part of the animal, and they didn't waste anything.
Yeah.
To show that like, I don't want just the skin. I'm going to use every single part.
Yeah.
And you didn't go to waste. You know, because nowadays we're pretty good at that, where we just kill a deer and then we just take its antlers and we're like, cool antlers, huh? Or you like mount the head on the, stuff like that. So
Trophies.
Exactly. Now, the skinwalkers are also able to take possession of the bodies of human victims if a person locks eyes with them.
Hey man, humans are animals too, baby.
Hey, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we always think that we're a little bit above the, we're above the we're ahead of the curve on this whole evolution thing. But...
Well, we've got thumbs. That's it. That's what separates us. Our thumbs. That's it.
It kind of is. Oh, I could play PlayStation.
I would trade my thumbs for a good old tail that I can control.
Tails are interesting. My girlfriend's always like, "Hey, watch out for the cat. The tail's going wild right now." I'm like, "That's weird."
I don't have to deal with tails. My dog doesn't really have one.
It's kind of like a subconscious.
Yeah, I always forget about tails. It's just not a part of my life.
They're for balance, correct?
They're for wagging and showing you they're having a good time. That's
I don't know. Oh, anyway. So after taking control, the witch can make its victims do and say things that they wouldn't otherwise. So once you lock eyes with them, like this magic moment,
like what we're doing right now.
I'm seriously. That's weird that we locked out. I am David Stokes.
I sound like that.
So yeah, once you lock eyes, it can make you do and say things that you would not normally do, which is a terrifying concept because it is polite to make eye contact.
Yeah.
In
makes you wonder.
American culture, and I probably assume Native American culture, it's also polite, I
think in most cultures it's polite, but I don't know.
I don't know about China because I know it's like disrespectful to make eye contact with elders or something like that.
Really?
I could be completely racist and
you could just be offending
right now.
everyone, but I don't know.
I know that I think you're not supposed to.
Okay.
It's like elders are like, can I have permission to look
I'm not going to take your word on it, but I will respect your... I will respect what you're thinking.
Don't go spouting this off to people, but do your own independent research.
Yeah.
If you go to China, just think about it. So,
just be real shifty with your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So just glance up, glance down, glance up. So once they were shapeshifted, one way that others could tell that they were not a real animal is that their eyes are very different than those of an animal. So if you see a little raccoon running by, you can make its eye. See, that's the thing.
I almost hit a raccoon with my bike the other day.
That's not even a thing.
It ran out of a bush.
So what I was going to say is that, these shapeshifters, these skinwalkers can possess you if you make eye contact with them. But you also have to check if they're a skinwalker by making eye contact with them.
That's what we call a lose-lose situation.
It's really shitty.
Really putting a corner on that one.
Instead, their eyes are very human and not animal-like. And it says, and when the lights are shined on them, they turn bright red. So it's really hard to check if a skinwalker is a skinwalker, because if you're like, oh yeah, he totally is. Oh shit, I'm a skinwalker now too.
Is that bitch with the snake ears? Is that Medusa? No.
So it says, alternatively, when they're in human form, their eyes look more like animals. So is that safe to stare at them in the eyes?
It's a sign of respect to stare an animal in the eyes.
No, it's not.
I go to Petco and I stare at all of those reptiles in the eye.
So, but like, is it safer when they're like in human form to like, will you become a victim of the skinwalker if they're in human form and you look at them in the eyes?
Okay, first of all,
cat eyes in their fucking head.
First of all, are these skinwalkers attacking people?
I mean, we can get into that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. It's like,
I mean, here's the thing.
Should he be more afraid of it attacking you or making eye contact with it?
It seems like it attacks people when it needs to attack people, because as we will figure out later on, there is also kind of a lore/legend behind the fact that when they kill somebody, that they take on their years to live. So they need to kill to live.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which is kind of a weird thing.
I don't know. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah. So
it gives it a purpose.
So if you're curious about how you become a skinwalker, let's get into it. So the evil society of witches gather in dark caves or secluded places for several purposes: to initiate new members, plot their activities, harm people from a distance with black magic, and perform dark ceremonial rites. I mean, why else would you go into a cave? We talked about caves a lot on this podcast.
We like caves.
We know what goes down in caves. We know it's not good. We know it's little,
Yeah, give us a good reason to go into a cave at this point.
Yeah, and we're about to get into the main thing that I feel like goes on in caves besides just death in general.
Okay.
And it goes like this. You're gonna hear the word that I say almost on every podcast, and I don't mean to. Every episode. Okay, there we go. The evildoers are also said to engage in. A lot of these are really weird, and also horrible. The evildoers are also said to engage in necrophilia with female corpses. Mm-hmm. So that goes to show you that there are mostly male witches, or lesbian witches. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's a necrophilia female corpse, which is horrible. Commit cannibalism. There we go. That's the trigger word right there. Incest and grave robberies. And apparently, like, skinwalkers can like dig up graves like really, really fast. Apparently,
yeah, they just turn into a beagle.
That's what they're like known for, is digging up graves very fast.
They can turn into a Tonka truck.
Oh. One of those Tonka trucks at the park where you get to like pick up the bark with the
all
little
of it.
levers. And levers. So during these gatherings, the skinwalkers shapeshift into their animal forms or go about naked, wearing only beaded jewelry and ceremonial paint. The leaders of the skinwalkers is usually an old man who is a very powerful and long-lived skinwalker. So it goes to show you again, most of these black magic skinwalkers are men, and naked men covered in beads and paint.
So Burning Man.
You make a valid point. I mean, a lot of these are happening in Arizona, but like California desert's close to Arizona.
Where do they do Burning Man? I never thought, like, I've never actually like looked that up.
I don't know. Middle of nowhere? Burning Man.
Like,
oh, that's a man on fire.
Oh God.
I'm kidding. It's held in Black Rock City. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
But basically middle of nowhere, California, in the desert. And it sounds like you could get some pretty good black magic going there.
Definitely some really good acid.
Definitely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
I always thought it was in like Nevada or something.
no, that's a Nevada don't put up with that shit.
No?
No.
All right.
No, they're
You're trying to say they have standards now, huh? Okay.
no, they have guns. That's what they have.
Oh,
They
okay.
fucking shoot you from a distance. So, skinwalkers also have their own powers, including reading others' minds, controlling their thoughts and behavior, causing disease and illness, and just destroying property and even death. So, I mean, they got a little bit of everything going for them. It shows black magic is strong and fun, if I may say so.
It's kind of like the Sith.
Honestly, I read an article and they were talking about how there's like white and black magic, and they're like, it's very Jedi-esque, and I was like,
Well,
I see
I'm
that.
sure there could be an aspect that the Jedi stuff is based off of this.
Oh, I mean, I feel like Jedi stuff is based off of every single culture ever, like yin and yang, and white magic, black magic type stuff. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So, those who have talked of their encounters with these evil beings describe a number of ways to know if a skinwalker is near. They make sounds around homes, such as knocking on windows, banging on walls, and scraping noises on the roof.
I don't like any of those.
I hear those nightly.
I don't like those.
It's pretty generic sounds too. It's not like it makes the sound of a jingle bell in a sock, and you're like, oh shit, I've heard that. Like everyone's heard like their house settling, so don't jump to conclusions yet. But on some occasions, they have been spied peering through windows. More often, they appear in front of vehicles, though, in hopes of causing a serious accident. So sometimes they're just peeking through a little window, checking on you. Sometimes they're running out in front of cars, which is almost a cop-out at that point, because you know that animals sometimes do that, and they're like, oh, fuck, that was a skinwalker trying to crash my Chevy.
God, I can't tell you how many times a fucking deer. Growing up in Eugene, Oregon, how many times a goddamn deer ran out in front of my car? I never hit one.
How many times have you actually had that like incident?
Oh, when like growing up from the age of 16 to 19, like driving, it was at least 3 times a week.
Are you serious?
Well, the deer population where my parents live is like pretty dense.
And you always hit the brakes in time.
Yeah, they're
Wait, what?
they're quick.
Wait, why do you say like you hit one? Did you hit one?
I never hit one, but came close. Like sometimes you don't have the time to hit the brakes.
I feel really bad.
And it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's safer just to hit a deer than it is to avoid it.
They say that like you shouldn't swerve, but also like those things cause massive damage.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. So, let's go. So, its supernatural powers are uncanny, as they are said to run faster than a car and have the ability to jump high cliffs. Kind of similar to a little melon head.
I was about to say, anything that can run faster than a car is hilarious to me.
So,
Anything that can run faster than a car but shouldn't be able to run faster than a car is hilarious to
funny.
me.
It's very
like a
funny.
cheetah, that's cool. Not funny, but like
it's the only thing that's cool
a
running
house
that fast.
cat outrunning fucking Ferrari is hilarious.
That's good. So they are extremely fast, agile, impossible to catch, and leave tracks that are larger than those of any animal. When they have been seen, they have been described as not quite human and not fully animal. They are usually
That wolf is not quite human.
I feel like there's a little bit of a gray area where, it's like it's like a wolf with like some human hands or something like that, where
A real nice cut of blue jeans.
or like you see, or okay, so I have to tell you this. Some of the stories I read were not a nice cut of blue jeans. Fuck you. But some of the stories that they constantly say is that they see like a kind of a human face on an animal a little bit, and it's really like disturbing.
Haunting.
Or usually the animal runs away on its hind legs. I'm not even kidding, which is kind of funny. But no, seriously, bipedal, man.
Oh man,
You gotta watch out for those bipedal wolves.
You ever seen a bearded dragon sprint
Oh yeah,
on their hind legs? It's hilarious.
Terrifying. terrifying in the most cute way, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like anything that runs on its hind legs that isn't a human. It gives me
You
chimpanzees.
don't like ostriches?
Those aren't even hind legs. Those are their only legs.
True.
So when they're seen, they are described as not quite human, not quite fully animal, and they're usually naked. But some have reported seeing the creature wearing tattered shirts or jeans. I guess you're right.
Yeah,
Fuck.
a nice cut of blue jeans.
I guess you're right. We got some
Fuck you.
some Wranglers on them. Shit. So the skinwalkers kill out of greed, anger, envy, spite, or revenge. It also robs graves for personal wealth and to collect much-needed ingredients for use in black magic. So, if you got a little sage down in that grave or a little gold locket.
An eye of newt.
My grandpa's buried with a couple eyes of newt.
That's a smart man.
So
Smart man.
So these witches live on the unexpired lives of their victims, and they must continually kill or perish themselves. So that's what I was talking about, where they live on the unexpired lives of their victims. So I guess you could say, which way would you go with it? Would you say they received the years lived, or they received the years that were supposed to be lived, under the assumption that fate or like free choice is not a thing, and we live to a certain age no matter what? You know what I mean?
I would hope it's years lived, so they'd be picking off, 90-year-olds and not 9-day-olds.
Yes. I agree, where they would go for the older person.
Yeah. Morally, I would hope it was someone who had lived a good time.
Yeah, both are very vulnerable and easy to get.
Yes.
I feel like so. But I do have some good news for you.
I like good news.
You can apparently kill these skinwalkers.
Yeah.
How
I'd
would
hope
you
so.
think that you would kill these skinwalkers? You listeners at home or in your car, how would you think that you kill these skinwalkers? Remember, there's a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
rule out-
magic involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna rule out silver bullets,
That was my immediate thought, was like, oh.
but I'm assuming
silver
these are
bullet.
older than firearms. Let's go with fire, wooden stakes,
Okay, that's a good guess, but I say that these are a little bit harder.
sex.
How did you guess? how did you know? Unprotected sex.
It's almost as if
This
I've
has been a
killed one.
giant metaphor for unprotected sex. No, you kill them by calling out their true human name, which is very hard if you see a wolf in blue jeans with a mustache.
Eric, Sam, Steve.
Oh, I literally almost wrote in this. I was like, which means that you should definitely get a baby book of Navajo common names,
Yep.
because I'd just be like, Pawewe, what's up?
Whoa, did you just make that up or did you Google it?
Is it bad if I didn't?
Can we say you just Googled it?
It sounds more Hawaiian than anything. I like how
I think it just sounds bad.
if you just went with it, nobody would question this right now. But
Well,
you're just
you should have given me a red flag. You should let me know.
It sounds Hawaiian. I'm ignorant, but
Jesus.
yeah, I don't know. Just throw out a name. Just throw out a name.
Right now?
Do it. Give me
Michael.
a Navajo name.
I don't know him. I'm not going to make one up.
Okay.
It's where you offend people.
I need somebody to join this club with me. Anyway, if you're not going to.
Fuck.
Oh, that is a bad Navajo name.
That fuck?
Okay.
Well,
So most forms of skinwalker sightings can be found in the form of an animal, or like I said earlier, an animal or undead human doing its bidding. So sometimes they possess undead humans. Did I say that before?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they sometimes possess undead humans, which is kind of like, I guess, the skinwalker zombie thing we were going for.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, there is a special case in which a skinwalker may take over a living human by locking eyes and carrying out an unspeakable act. This is the story of that particular case. So I have one case really quickly
All right.
of a skinwalker case. I guess you could say.
Okay.
So in June of 1987, in Flagstaff, Arizona, the body of a Navajo woman named Sarah Saganitzo was found behind the building of the Flagstaff Medical Center where she worked. She was found naked, bruised, and beaten almost beyond identification, and covered in blood, having suffered numerous fatal stab wounds to the upper torso. It also seemed that someone or something had appeared to have bitten off her left breast in the altercation. So, like, very savagely murdered
Yeah.
in the desert-ish area behind the hospital. So, Sarah Saganitzo was one of the housekeepers for the hospital and was said to have been working her first ever night shift that night when she went missing. Her car was actually found parked on the east wing of the hospital, and her body was found on the rocky hillside to the west. So she wasn't even, like, technically walking to her car.
Okay.
Or if this happened, somebody or something had
Moved
dragged
it,
her
yeah.
very, very, like, far. You know, I don't know. A hospital is pretty big, you know. So, George Abney, a former English professor at Northern Arizona University, was arrested and charged with her murder quickly after, due to the fact that Abney claimed to his friends and acquaintances that he was having bizarre, vivid dreams about killing a woman recently. Abney later confessed to the murder, but in his testimony, he was stated as saying that he was having trouble distinguishing reality from fantasy. So I know that you're probably thinking, like, oh, he just thought, like, he had a dream about killing a woman, but they matched the teeth marks, and they seem to have matched to the teeth marks on her body.
Oh, damn. Okay, because originally I was thinking, like, okay, maybe someone murdered her, and then wildlife started, biting at her.
Oh, I know. I see what you mean. Yeah,
Some coyotes or something.
I think they knew that it was a person because of the fact that, like, they were human teeth marks.
Okay.
But he was telling people, he's like, yeah, I have a feeling that, he's like, I had a dream that I, like, killed this woman at this hospital in this area. And people were like, oh, somebody died there. And he's like,
JK.
Dreams be crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, but when the trial came around, Abney confessed that he believed that he was receiving prophecies from God because he was, like, a devout Christian. And he said, like, I'm receiving prophecies from God. That's what, like, I killed this woman, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I did or not. But his defense lawyer brought up another possibility. He claimed that the woman murdered, Saganitzo, may have been attacked by a skinwalker since she was a member of the Navajo tribe.
Okay.
Also, a broken stick across her neck and a clump of grass believed to have been from a graveyard left near her truck had been among the defense's evidence that there had been some form of black magic behind the brutal slaying. So they found, like, these telltale Navajo signs of black magic or something like that, and they believed that Abney, I think his name was Abney was possessed by a skinwalker. He locked eyes with the skinwalker, and he became possessed, and he did their bidding for them. That's why he's like, I don't really remember anything. I mean, honestly, he should have just pled fucking insanity or something like that.
Yeah.
But his lawyer went for this defense. I don't know if this was dealt on a reservation or not. But unfortunately for Abney and his lawyer, his defense didn't work since the teeth marks on Saganitzo's left breast appearing to have matched Abney's, and that his unusual dreams were more of a confession than any kind of evidence supporting the skinwalker theory.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, this is not flying. So to wrap this up, a year later, though, Abney was acquitted and cleared of all charges.
Wow.
Yeah. And Saganitzo's family said that they believe in Abney's innocence, and the case was reopened in 1988, but was never resolved, and the murder remains unsolved to this day.
Damn.
So I'll wrap it up with this. So next time you find yourself out in the cold desert of Arizona at the crack of midnight wrestling a wild coyote, remember to keep that full Nelson tight, because you never know when that desert dog could turn into an old naked man covered in paint, making you relive summer camp all over again.
Yikes. You love those little sign-offs.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I don't know.
It shows.
It's my bread and butter.
Yeah.
But how crazy is it that the family of the woman was like, no, we're good. No, he didn't do it. It was definitely a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Or somebody else. And they're like,
I'm
no,
sure he was relieved.
They're like, his teeth marks match. And they're like, nah.
Nah.
That's what I'm guessing, because on Native American lands, reservations, they don't have to abide by government laws.
Yep.
So they usually have their own form of trial and stuff like that. If you commit a murder or something like that on.
What was that show that was on? Was it on Netflix?
Is it Bloodline?
No.
I don't know. I really don't.
It was a really good show. Fuck.
Wow. You're not helping us at all.
It had the guy who played the new version of RoboCop. He was Rick Flag in Suicide Squad.
Oh, I don't know his name.
I like that actor.
Yeah, I don't know his name, though.
It was a really good crime show.
Was it about like a Native American?
Yeah.
A murder on Native American lands?
Yeah.
Reservation? Oh, okay.
Well, it was a Native American girl that died at they found her body, and then it was like they were kind of taught, they were the police, they were caught between the line of like it being the reservation's issue and like not theirs.
It's a really interesting like political science type like idea of a government within a government and the jurisdiction that you cannot cross, and if there's a murder on a reservation, it falls to the reservation, and like I don't know, it's very interesting,
It's an interesting line of like justice, I guess. Like it's
I mean, you just hope that the reservation has like a due justice system, or you might be screwed,
Yeah.
But like, who says our justice system is so perfect?
Oh, it sure as shit isn't.
So yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
There's a lot of questions in there, and not a lot of answers, and a lot of skinwalkers in our government. So
Yeah, what you think a skinwalker is gonna come down as a lizard person? An LP?
a lizard is an animal.
It is.
So, I mean, are lizard people skinwalkers, or are they just born lizards? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one because they're not
Find
lizards, they're lizard people.
We'll find out soon enough, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
Once we infiltrate the cloud people.
So I'm going to tell you about the legend named Pedro Rodrigues Filho.
Philo?
Do you know about him?
I know nothing about him. He's a legend?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I should know about him.
Well, he's a Brazilian legend, living legend. And at the end of this, you'll probably think, wow, I should have known about him.
Oh, Living Legends, great rap group.
Yeah. So Pedro was born June 17th, 1954, which makes him now 64. And he was born in Santa Rita do Sapucaia in Brazil. He was born on a farm, but did not have a very great childhood before he was even born. Because when he was born, he had a bruised skull as a result from his father. This isn't funny. It was a result from his father kicking his mother in the stomach during a fight while she was pregnant.
Oh, is this real? Is this a legend?
No, this is real.
Oh, no.
And with no surprise, as it usually does, early brain trauma can lead to some very interesting futures for people.
They always say that, like, serial killers, like, they usually have, like, a massive head trauma when they're a child.
Yeah.
And then that's how, that's one of the, like, the telltale signs besides, like, bedwetting and, lighting things on fire and killing animals.
I mean, not everybody who has head trauma as a child becomes a murderer, but...
I mean, you.
It's
you
like...
fucking melon head.
It's like the classic saying, not all white people die in a hot air balloon accident, but everybody who dies in a hot air balloon accident is a white person.
Oh wow, I've never heard that.
You've never heard that
before. Did you just make that up?
No, I've heard that.
That's a real thing?
That's a real thing. I mean, it's a joke, obviously.
Well, it's fairly true.
Yeah.
I've never been in a hot air balloon.
I will never get in one of those
They
fucking
scared
things.
the shit out of me.
Yeah, fuck that.
I would get in one if I had a parachute on my back.
Yeah? I still wouldn't. I don't trust
It
my
would be
parachute.
kind of nice to die in a basket, right?
Just delivered to hell in a handbasket.
If you put it that way.
So, Pedro has been compared to a television character from the United States.
Oh, can I guess?
I'm going to ask you to guess in a moment.
Oh, yes.
And it's because of his similarities to this character, and that's what makes him my topic for today. So, would you like to guess which character I'm talking
about? I
about?
would love to guess, and you guys at home or in your car, you can guess too.
Oh, we'll give you a second.
Okay, so I have two people come to mind.
I know
right
exactly at least one of them.
now. Okay, who do you think I'm gonna say?
Walter White.
Wow, how do you know I was gonna say
Because
that?
you are obsessed with Breaking Bad, but
I
that's
love-
not the answer.
I was gonna also say maybe Hannibal Lecter.
No.
And I guess the last one I would say it's an American TV character, movie character, TV character. Oh, man, this is a toughie. Recent TV, old TV.
Recent.
Mm-hmm.
Probably ended in like 2013.
Oh shit.
Really good show.
Oh my god, I don't even know. Is it like a horror show?
I wouldn't call it that, but I guess to some people it would be.
Oh, I feel so stupid. Tell me.
The one and only Dexter Morgan.
Oh, Dexter!
You know?
Damn, that's the one I should have guessed. Actually, I didn't watch the full series.
Yeah.
I just started watching it recently, and I got
ending sucked. But
I got up to the Trinity Killer, and then after that season, everyone tells me that it gets really downhill. So
I mean,
I jumped ship.
You should finish it, but yeah, no. Honestly, I loved the entire series until like the last episode, and it was kind of like, oh fuck. Come on.
Okay.
So, that should probably give you a good idea of what our man Pedro had going on.
Oh yeah.
So, Pedro, aka Pedro Matador, which translates into Killer Petey, is, and I'm saying is because he's still alive, a Brazilian serial killer who pursued and killed other criminals and others he deemed bad.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen the show Dexter, it's about a serial killer who kills other serial killers. He's a forensic scientist, so he figures out who are the serial killers and then takes care of them himself because he doesn't believe in his own justice system.
He doesn't also just kill serial killers. He kills like pedophiles.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Anybody who's morally wrong, which is like ironic
Monsters.
because he's morally wrong, but he's doing it for a just cause. So he's like, yeah, exactly. You get it.
So at the age of 13, Pedro almost killed his cousin while in a fight, nearly pushing him into a sugarcane press. But not much longer, at the age of 14, Pedro had his first kill. And,
Hold up. Did you just say 14?
At 14 years young, he killed the deputy mayor of his town.
What?
By shooting him in front of the city hall with a shotgun after the deputy mayor fired his father, a school guard, accusing him of stealing school lunches. And then he... so then he not only killed the deputy mayor, he also killed the guy who was actually like the thief.
The only thing I'm picturing right now is Chris Farley eating all the school lunches and Billy Madison on the side of the bus.
I tell you what, it's that goddamn Sasquatch.
You ate all those lunches, that goddamn Sasquatch.
If Peanut Pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Consider me Pedro. Shit. Okay, so like, was he stealing lunches? Do we have any confirmation on that?
The father wasn't, but he you can't confirm it because the fucker's dead, but yeah, I would assume that guy was doing it.
Yeah. Wait, you thought the guy who got shot with the shotgun was stealing lunches?
No, that was the guy that fired his father. After he killed him, he went and found the guy who was actually doing the stealing and killed him too.
Are you
Because
fucking serious?
kid's kind of a fucking badass.
Okay, wait. Who was stealing the lunches though?
Like one of his coworkers.
Why the fuck would you steal kids' lunches? And by the way, imagine dying for stealing kids' lunches.
Yeah.
They're not even good.
Don't cross this dude. Hey, maybe they were though.
I mean, they're mostly like PB&Js.
Yeah.
Let's not get ourselves here.
So after these murders, Pedro took refuge in the greater Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah.
Where he began robbing people. Wait, no. That's right. He started robbing drug dens and killing drug traffickers.
Okay. I mean,
Super badass in a way.
I'm like not even mad because we know that like there's like a lot of drugs going on in Brazil, and why not?
There's some pretty bad crime going on
kill
in
some
Brazil.
bad drug dealers.
Yeah.
I'm on Pedro's side right now.
Yeah. What's that saying? It's like, what you're doing is bad. No, that doesn't make you a bad person.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's like how did he get out of killing the
he ran.
deputy?
He ran.
Oh, okay.
That's why he ended up in the other place.
Hey, okay.
So it was here that Pedro met one of the widows of the leaders of the traffickers, and they became a duo. A little bit of a romantic couple.
A little Bonnie and Clyde right there.
Yeah, and her nickname was Batinaha.
Bonnie?
No, Batinha.
Okay.
Which I regret doing it because I was like, oh, that's kind of a pretty name, whatever. And of course I Googled it.
Uh-oh.
And do you want to guess what the Portuguese translate is?
Batina?
Yeah.
Can you spell that for me real quick?
Botinha. Botinha.
Fly vagina.
Translates into booty.
Was I close?
Pretty close.
About an inch away.
Yeah. I was going to say an inch or two.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so Pedro stayed in that area and continued to take out criminals until the police had caught his Batija and executed her.
Oh no, they caught her?
They caught her and executed her.
Okay, was she killing before she met him?
I don't.
She was just like, hey, here's a partner. Like, did he kind of rope her into that?
I don't think it ever actually said that she killed people, but I think it was more like she knew of people for him to kill.
Oh, so she was like his agent.
Yeah, kind of like the intel. And so they executed her, but Pedro escaped and regrouped and kind of formed a little army with some soldiers and set up his own business of sorts. In his desperation to get revenge for his murdered lover, he tortured and killed several people trying to get the answers and names of the men responsible for the death. The man believed to be responsible for the death, for setting her up, received a visit from Killer Petey and 4 of his friends during a wedding party. The 5 men left 7 dead and 16 wounded. And you ready for the craziest shit about all this right now?
That's some like Godfather shit.
You know what's insane?
Okay, wait. What's more insane than going after the guy and leaving 7 dead and how many wounded?
16 at a wedding party.
Yeah, tell me what's more crazy than that.
Motherfucker wasn't even 18 at this point.
What?
Yeah. How fucking insane is that?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
ruthless.
I don't want to say very cool because he
is killing people.
He shot a lot of people who probably weren't involved in setting up his. It's like it's kind of a weird middle ground where you're like shooting people who are catching criminals, but like you have an attachment to the criminals, so you feel like it's unjust, but like they're a criminal.
But I also like to think that at this wedding party, it was just criminals there. I feel like when you're like wrapped up in an organization like that, like
true,
they could have all been a part of this gang.
Okay,
I'm kind of trying to make a better side of it.
Yeah, let's
which
make a
is
bridge
just kinda,
to our conscience.
I'm kind of just throwing one out there.
Okay, I like it.
But so this part gets a little dark.
Was the devil marrying Hitler?
Exactly. Yeah. So this gets a little dark. Pedro, still in the area, finds out that his father had killed his mother with 21 machete blows. And
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I mean, obviously his father is a piece of shit because
Hold
he
up.
beat up his pregnant mom.
And stole a bunch of lunches. Let's not
No,
get-
his dad did. I don't think his dad... I mean, his dad probably did it.
Okay. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Is that we're like, oh, we lead off with his dad kicked his mother in the stomach, and then we go into his dad got accused of stealing lunches. I'm like, oh, that's what he got accused of.
Yeah.
He got accused of stealing fucking lunches, and then all of a sudden they find out that he hacked her. Wait, what? Say that one more time.
Yeah,
I need to process this.
He killed the mother, and the autopsy would reveal that her death came with 21 machete blows.
Did she steal his lunch?
Maybe. But so, I didn't... From what I read, it wasn't very clear about this, but the way I'm picturing it is that Pedro had the power to go into a prison because
How?
his father was in jail,
Okay.
and while he was in jail, Pedro he was a man who had deep love for his mother and his ex-lover. He loved women, like he had a soft spot for the women in his life.
Okay.
And being that his father had killed his mother with 21 machete blows, he stabbed his father 22 times. And while he was in prison, so somehow he got into that prison without being arrested and did this.
It's visitation.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean that's some Lizzie Borden shit, right? Is that how you pronounce her name? Lizzie Borden? Borden.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, I
Another
got a
story for
whole
another
new
time,
episode.
yep.
Yeah, for you.
So the 22 stabs weren't the worst part about this. He he ripped out his father's heart and chewed it apart and spat it out.
So now he's stealing lunches.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So he's in a prison doing this. Okay.
And then I think he just walked out. Like, I think...
By the way, like Brazilian prisons, I don't want to like assume anything, but I've watched some documentaries, especially about prisons.
Yeah.
And I hear Brazilian prisons are not necessarily the worst. They're actually the best if you're like top dog and well respected by other people in the prison.
Are you talking about that show that's on Netflix where the guy went into the prisons?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched like an episode or two of that. It was really
me
interesting.
too. And but like if you're like if you offend other people, like you're a lazy slob, you don't do your dishes, or you're seen as like a piece of shit, like a pedophile or something like that, they will literally cut off your head in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And apparently rip... Do you think that Pedro was really pissed about this fact because his whole murder spree and his like running away from the police was basically because of his father being accused of stealing lunches, and then his father went and killed his mother, who he probably loved more than his father, with 21 fucking blows from a machete? It's like it's probably a culmination of that. That's why he did like the thing about like chewing out. He chewed his fucking heart.
Yeah, and spat it out.
At least he spat it out.
Yeah, he didn't swallow it.
But still, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
brutal.
Pedro was eventually arrested for the first time on May 24th of 73, and he's lived most of his adult life in prison. But being in prison is like being in a candy shop for Pedro.
So he didn't get out of that chewing the heart scenario?
You know, it didn't say what he actually got arrested for. I think it was more like they finally just like caught him and arrested him because he had been killing a lot of people.
Okay.
I don't know if there's one specific thing that he got arrested for.
That was
There's
probably
more.
a big red flag that like,
Yeah.
we probably have to catch this guy now.
But I mean, he was also just like taking out all these other people.
True, but like that made him look way worse in their eyes because like they're supposed to be.
Well, it made them look bad too.
That's what I meant. No,
Yeah.
that like they're supposed to be protecting these prisoners, and he like walked in front of them, killed their guy, tore out his heart, chewed it up, spit it out, and walked out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, this makes like the police force, the guards, the prison system, that makes us all look like way worse than just like killing a random person.
Yeah. But so like what I was saying, this is like being a kid in a candy shop for Pedro because again, who did he love killing?
Bad criminals.
Exactly. So it was said in a police report that when he's being transported to the prison, him and another prisoner were in one of those like prisoner cars, both handcuffed, and when they got to the prison, the other guy was dead.
How? I need to...
There's no details, and Pedro admitted to killing the man, justifying the murder with saying the fact that he was a rapist.
Did he need to admit to killing him?
No. But he said, they like open, he's just like, yeah, I killed him. And they're like, why? He's like, he's a rapist.
That's, like I've said before in the past, I watch a lot of Lockup. I watch a lot of Lockdown and Lock Side to Side and Lock...
Upside down, yeah.
Every other way. And one of the biggest things that like they always talk about is how these people who are sexual offenders, most likely rapists,
biggest
pedophiles, stuff like that, they have to be put on a special yard because that's the one. Also, women abusers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that prisoners do not
tolerate.
Tolerate is that kind of stuff. So they will kill you or stab you within seconds of like them finding out that you did this and stuff. So they really, really hate that. And I feel like Pedro's the ultimate. If they were running for president, he would be their candidate.
Yeah.
So he's cleaning up the prison system, I guess.
Yeah. So it's hard to speculate how many kills he had before he was actually in prison. Some say upwards of 60 or so.
Wow.
And when he was put through the whole legal thing, he was sentenced up to 126 years of imprisonment.
Holy shit.
But was to be released because in Brazilian law it prohibits anyone from spending more than 30 years behind bars. Yep. Yeah, that's a thing.
How did they sentence him to 126 years though?
I think it was more of just like a on paper kind of thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
Well, actually, we talked about this too with the whole German cannibal guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what his name is, but I think in Germany they believe in like a maximum amount of years being like kind of lower because they feel like you're rehabilitated after a certain amount of time, unless like the other alternative is like 200 years behind bars, and it's like that's more of an American type thing where like you're never getting out ever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Where like, do you learn your lesson? Are you allowed to live your life after taking somebody else's? I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
And I don't know if there had to be an aspect to it to like who he was killing, because he was still killing drug traffickers and rapists and shit like that.
Bad people.
Yeah. So he would eventually actually kill 47 people while in jail. Yep. And he would...
I need to clear my throat on this
one.
He killed 60 out of jail, correct? Or
yes.
Prison, I guess you could say.
Well, okay, so they believe his grand total was somewhere around 100.
Good God.
Yeah.
60 out of prison, 40 in prison.
Yeah, they can confirm 47 in jail that they know.
Holy shit. Of course. I mean, those are the ones that there was like, hey, where's Ted? And be like, Ted's not coming back. Oh, yeah, no, his heart's chewed half to death and fucking out of his body. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
Does he get 30-year consecutives on top of that? Like, does he restart his 30 fucking years every single time?
He would rack up to 400 years in prison, but then he was released in 2007.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, it does not make any sense to me at all. I don't get it. The Brazilian legal, like, the whole thing does not make sense.
400 years in prison. So he's out right now. He's been out.
He was out. But we'll get into that. According to fellow prisoners, Pedro was a phenomenon of survival. Most prisoners wouldn't even survive the maximum of 30 years. That could be part of it too, is that people like just didn't they would just get killed.
So he served his full 30 years.
Yes.
Even killing people on top of that, they're like, we're not going to add. Yeah. I don't get that's a flaw. That's a flaw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he was saving the country money.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of like the idea of like it's kind of true in that sense where like he is saving them money, but like you saw in that documentary how lax those prison systems are.
Yeah.
There's like dogs roaming around the yard.
Yeah.
There's people playing soccer. They're not wearing any kind of uniform. They're wearing their normal clothes. They have dishes.
They let them deal out themselves.
Exactly. It's almost like an apartment complex.
It's basically just the dorms.
It's a shitty apartment complex inside of a place where you can't leave.
Yeah.
Basically.
So one prisoner talked about at one time Pedro was attacked by 5 prisoners, killing 3 of them and chasing 2 away.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool, actually.
And Pedro also killed one of his cellmates because he snored too much.
Okay, that's fucked up.
And another one because he didn't like his face. And I feel like at one point you just have to do that shit just to like keep the reputation and not, you know.
I feel like that's a slippery slope for anybody.
Yeah, once you're in there, it's kind of like, and who knows, maybe there was something else going on. Maybe they were also rapists, and he was just like having fun with it at that point. But
my concern is, here's my question: did he not like his face because it was too ugly,
or just too beautiful,
or too handsome?
He might have just been too good looking.
Jealousy
could have been it.
Sometimes ugliness. Hey, if anybody feels like they're really ugly out there, just remember. It might save your life.
It might save your life. So after spending a total of 34 years in prison, so I'm not sure, this is another part of the thing I was reading that confused me, was maybe he spent some years before actually being like in that.
4 more years?
Yeah, something like that. So he was released on September, okay, so I think he was out and then got put back in. So he was released officially September 15th of 2011. And
they said 2007.
Oh, no, okay, no, sorry. Misread that. So he was released in 2007. Mm-hmm. And then on September 15th, 2011, a local media had reported that he was arrested in his rural hometown where he was working.
As a butcher.
I'm going to let you guess what he was working as after all of this shit.
He's working. I mean, my first guess is a butcher.
No.
Police officer.
Go the other direction.
A priest, a pastor.
He was a caretaker. Yeah, and according to the news report,
wow, okay,
he would serve 8 more years on top of.
What do you do?
So he would go for charges of riot and deprivation of liberty.
I know what riot is.
Yeah.
I don't know what deprivation of liberty is, but I don't know who he's inciting a riot with. People.
My fingers hurt. You will go to sleep, or I'll put you to sleep, Grandma.
Warm glasses, shut the hell up. That's the opposite of riot. He needs to rise up with them.
Yeah. So Pedro says he is sorry for his bad ways, and that he has converted to Christianity, of course, and that
they all get scared toward the end. You know what I'm saying?
And he is writing an autobiography, which I would love to read. And this is the best part.
My father's heart tasted like shit.
I mean, what does everybody do when they hit the end of the road and they don't know what to do?
They sing "Boys to Men." It's the end.
It's the step below starting a podcast.
Oh, there's something lower than starting a podcast?
Oh yeah.
Let me think.
And it's not streaming video games.
They become a stand-up comedian?
He has a YouTube channel where he gives where he gives advice to young people to keep the youth away from crime.
Okay. See, okay. No, that's it. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going back and forth in my head right now in like milliseconds right now because he is committing crime.
You could call that crime, killing maybe over 100 people.
You know what's weird?
What's weird?
I get kind of irritated at people who commit like a lot of crimes in their life, and they go, "Hey, you shouldn't commit crimes," and you're like, "Well, I respect you for coming out and being like trying to deter people, But, like, maybe you should have figured this out a little bit earlier. I don't know. So, like, this guy's doing a good thing for the community by killing people who are bad for the community, but he's also killing people who he doesn't like their face and they're snoring too loud. And like I said, I don't know why they're in prison in the first place. They could be bad people. Yeah. But, like, he's committing crimes of people who committed crimes. Yeah. So I guess he should say, don't murder anybody ever, or, like, he's an addict, man.
I don't know.
He loves murdering people.
Yeah.
Brazil
I don't know.
Is wild.
I saw something that was I didn't add to my story, but it was something like someone had evaluated him and his ties to trying to do right, like, kept him from being classified as, like, mentally insane.
I agree. Yeah.
He had, like, reasons to do them.
Is that better to not be declared as mentally insane in Brazil?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they have, like, mental...
Because I think they would usually push you into a mental health facility, like a mental health hospital.
It's almost like Noble. It's almost like Robin Hood, where, like, you steal from the rich and give to the poor, but, like, it's that exact concept of somebody who's killing the bad, and if you're not bad, you won't get murdered. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like lawmakers are probably like, well, that's kind of like Wild West and cool. Like, yeah, I'm not even that mad at that situation, but it's still fucking, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. So now, do you understand why I'm calling him fucking living legend?
He kind of is.
That shit's insane.
So he's YouTubing it up.
Yeah, I need to find his YouTube.
Honestly, I'm very fascinated with him.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Is that the end of the story?
Yep, that's it.
Wow.
That's all, folks.
So, I mean, I guess right now we're waiting until, what's his name?
Pedro Rodrigues, what was his last name? It was, Filho? Filho.
I guess we're waiting until Pedro strikes again. I mean, that's the loophole, I guess. It's like, kill murderers? We're not telling you to do that, but, like...
What do you think his intro to his YouTube videos are? What's up, Philhos? Like and subscribe.
Not that.
Buy my shirts.
Oh, he's got shirts for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the end of our episode. Wow. I mean, there's a lot to unpack on that. I'm still, like, morally unpacking that.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
I mean, we could talk about this for hours, basically. I bet you're having an internal struggle right now of whether that's okay. I mean, if you've seen the show Dexter, yeah, it's a little bit easier, but, like, he also didn't kill people who just, like, he didn't like their face or they snored too loud, which is interesting, and his dad never stole lunches. So,
you don't know that.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. We love when you guys listen, and we love telling you these stories. We got merch. We got Instagram too, and David is on Twitter now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start posting weird photos when I feel like it.
So David is taking a bigger, social media initiative and posting more pictures on Instagram. I mean, on Twitter.
No, I'm posting right now.
You're gonna post
I'm gonna
one
look one up. I'm gonna post one.
So he's posting more on Instagram, which is great. So follow us on Instagram if you want to see some fun stuff. We're getting better at this social media stuff. It's hard, but it's what the kids like.
Gotta give the kids what the kids like.
You gotta give the kids what the kids like. And so yeah, we got some of that going for you.
I could just scroll through my phone and just pick a random photo and probably upload it, and it'd be weird enough.
It probably would be.
You want to see what I landed on?
Yeah, I do. I'll describe it to the viewers if you show it to me right now. Please show me right now.
Oh wait, I want to crop this one a little bit.
Oh, well, just show me. Oh, it's a little Kumi
making a real weird face.
It's his dog in a green vest. So
it's a harness.
It's a harness, whatever, vest harness. But yeah, so we got David, are we gonna tell him what we got?
We got dog harnesses.
We got pork pie hats.
What? Pork pie hats?
You know what pork pie hats
I don't. We got lamps.
You didn't want to know more about pork pie hats?
I do, but I don't want to throw this off. We can talk about that afterwards.
We got Chinese finger traps.
That's weird. The first thing I was thinking was something like Japanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've got, like, Japanese translations of our episodes.
I mean, I think I might have done that this episode. Wait, no, that was Navajo. I'm sorry.
Jesus, man.
It really spans across many cultures. We got, what else do we got, man?
French...
We got toupees. For sure we got toupees.
barrettes. French barrettes. Those hats.
We got baguettes.
We got baguettes with our faces burned into the top, like those cool buns at fancy hamburger places. We got badminton
How
sets.
fancy of hamburger places do you go to?
I'm a fancy boy.
Oh, we got... Hey, we got... There's...
We got maps when the USSR was still on it.
Oh, wow. We got Beatles albums with that song on it.
We got bayonets that you can attach to any rifle you have.
We got bayonets with Mel Gibson, aim small, miss small.
We got Mel Gibson bottle openers.
That's a Patriot. That's a Patriot reference for
Yeah.
you. That's a good Patriot reference, too. Heath Ledger, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Everyone says that his Joker is the best performance. I say The Patriot. Or 10 Things I Hate About You.
I do like that movie.
You know when he sings on the bleachers?
Or, what was the Knight's Tale?
I love you, babe.
Knight's Tale is good, too.
Oh, fuck, I love Knight's Tale.
You know?
You guys, we got Heath Ledger movies, and you need to go watch them right now.
Go buy them at our store.
We got Heath Ledger movies with our logo printed on. So go, if you guys got, stuff to listen to.
We got burlap sacks.
Okay, we're done with this.
Okay.
But that's all we got for you guys tonight, tomorrow, and hopefully you guys like. If you guys got, we should finish this. If you guys got any spooky stories, send them our way.
Yeah, send them.
And if you guys got any reviews you want to send us our way.
Rate, review,
subscribe,
send shit to your friends.
Yeah, promote.
I don't know.
Fuck it.
Always need.
Who cares about? We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's end it with don't forget to stay strange.